Hello and welcome back to our online lesson. So the last video ended on human rights and that's where we'll pick up from. So the next slide is about service users, patients and clients' rights. So we have the right to be respected, treated as an individual, treated in a dignified way, treated equally and not discriminated against, allowed privacy, cared for in a way that meets our needs and takes account of preferences and choices, communicate using their preferred methods, allowed access to information about ourselves and safeguarded from danger and harm. There is a clip here, Rights to Know. You need to click on the YouTube clip and play the YouTube clip, which is this one, so I shall let you watch.
Right to my existence. I have the right. No one can take that away. No matter what you think my life's worth, I have the right. Want to live it every day. I want to meet my friends and party, sing and dance and take my part. Make my memories be happy. Want to finish what I start. I've got the right. The right to do things private. I've got the right. Keep my own things in my own space. I've got the right. The right to live safe with my family. I've got the right. With no one getting in my face. I've got the right. No one else can read my letters unless I ask them if they will. I phone and email on my business, but I might let you pay the bill. I've got the right. Don't exclude us if we're different. I've got the right. Because our rights are just the same. I've got the right. In our jobs and education, I have the right. Even in a football game, I have the right. If we're gay or we're disabled, or we're from another race, there should be no discrimination. With our human rights in place, I have the right to have a husband. I have the right. A boyfriend, girlfriend or a wife. I've got the right. To have sex and maybe babies. To have someone to share my life. Stay together and be happy. Tie the knot and make a home. We don't have to live alone. I have the right to free expression. I have the right to tell the world what's in my heart. I've got the right. I could sing or dance or act it. I've got the right. Share my thoughts by making art. I've got the right. So long as what I say is truthful, and no one says he's on the phone, and I make sure it's nothing more. I can express what's in my mind.
I hope you enjoyed watching that and made some notes about what rights people have. Back to your PowerPoint. What affects your rights? So you need to have a little think, and then when I see you in class, I expect that we can put together a list of them on this screen. Next we think about the Equality Law and what it says about delivering care services. So if you're looking at public sector organisations such as the NHS, then you need to think about what the law says in relation to how people are treated. So we have to follow human rights, and these are the rights that service users and patients should expect if they are using a public service. As an activity in groups, which you should be doing on a shared Google Doc using the groupings you used for Unit 1 of the group roleplay, could you please have a little think about how staff who are providing health or social care services should behave and what responsibilities they have. This is really important if you wanted to go into a career in health and social care. Think about what people might ask you in an interview, how you might be expected to behave if you are working in health and social care. Write down your ideas on a group document. We will then share this with the class when I see you on Thursday. I will be expecting you to give me some feedback verbally so we can go through this together. Some of the responsibilities that you have as a worker. Okay? You have a responsibility to ensure your service users' rights are maintained. You can do this by signposting them to information about legislation, welfare rights, making sure they have access to an advocate if one is required. You need to promote equality of opportunity. So if 3 people in your home are going out bowling and there's 4 people in the home, but the 4th person is a wheelchair user, how do you ensure they have the same opportunity? You need to make sure that you've found a venue that has wheelchair access so they also have that opportunity to join in. Next, we have provision of active support. Active support means that you're actively doing everything you can to support an individual, which involves making sure they're included in activities and making sure you have given them all the information they need or signposted them to the information they need, and make sure they are included in all activities and planning of their care. Effective communication links very nicely to Unit 1, which we've just completed. Effective means it is good and it is useful and it works well. Accurate recording. Anything you write down is legal. It could go to court should there be any issues. So you need to make sure that anything you write down is timed, dated and signed, and that you've written facts, and if it's your opinion, you've stated it's your opinion. The storage and retrieval of information comes under the Data Protection Act 1998. You need to think about how you store service user information. Do you use a computer? Do you use a filing cabinet? Do you have a record book, a handover book? Do you use the telephone? Do you use emails? And how do you ensure its privacy? Leads us nicely on to how do we do all these things. Okay. So promotion of equality of opportunity. How do we do this? Allowing each client choice where possible and changing your approach to meet the client's needs. One size fits all does not apply in health and social care, so you need to adapt yourself and your approach to meet the client's needs. Effective communication, accurate recording and retrieval of information. So choices. What choices did you make this morning? And what choices do you think service users should have in the morning? Do you think they should choose what time they get up, what they have for breakfast, whether they practice any religious rituals, whether they have a shower, whether they have a bath, use shower gel, do they use soap, do they use a flannel, do they brush their teeth? It's their choice. So you need to think about what choices they are able to make. Equality and good practice. You need to let people know in organisations what you do to ensure equality. Most places, including the NHS, waiting rooms for doctors, hospitals, care homes, should have now a poster displayed saying what they do to promote good practice in relation to equality. Around college, you will see in every classroom there is a poster promoting equality. Other things that tell you that there is equality, things like an accessible toilet, accessible entrances, can people get in and out of a building, how will you communicate with staff, if I'm visually impaired, would you provide information about your service to me in large print, would you provide a DVD if I can't read. So you need to think about the other ways that people deliver services that are inclusive and meet equality laws. Back to a group activity. Again, stay in your groups that you've been in for Unit 1. So what sort of information do you think there should be in a doctor's waiting room or care home reception? You have 20 minutes together to design a poster on a Google Drive document that's going to be shared with the class to demonstrate how you may do this. We will then be feeding back on your group activity. I'm now on slide 26. This is a very important slide, and we need to understand principles and values. In groups, you're going to create a short presentation. You can do this within your groups. Open up on Google Drive a Google presentation slide. Share it with all the members of your group so each of you can write on a slide ready to present on Thursday in class. You need to look at ethical considerations and values, including social justice. This affects all aspects of society. You will need to research this and include your references. Person-centred approach. So the service user is at the heart and the centre of all care provision. Again, you will need to research and reference this. The rights to life and the right to die. So this is about accepting or declining treatment and living how we choose to live. Research and reference. Honesty. How can you prove that this happens in health and social care? Find some case studies and reference. Empathy links with ethical dilemmas. Sometimes they're big, sometimes they're small. You need to research this. You need to be sure that when you're talking about empathy, it is not sympathy. Perhaps the definition of the word on your slide would be very useful. In class, we will then be presenting the group's presentations. I'm going to leave it there for this one, and then I'll start a second recording shortly.